So hi, welcome to another video, and today we are continue the learning how to use my left hand kind of saga, I guess. And today I'm tackling painting, mostly because I've been wanting to mess with watercolor paints for a while and test around some watercolor paper that I have. I decided to start with very simple exercises, which is making charts. So charts are like this kind of boxes where you fill the box with color. So this one is a color mixing chart, and I also have a glazing chart. I wanted to make some water control exercises and brush stroke, and maybe some techniques too, like wet on wet, wet on dry. However, I'm not sure if I'm gonna have time because this take a while to do. You have to sometimes wait things to dry completely. I don't think that is gonna be a problem because it's hot. But anyway, I don't know if I'm gonna have time, so I'm not gonna include them in this video, and I'm probably gonna do them in other video where I'm focusing on brush strokes and water control. But yeah, I think this is it. So let's go. I'm on top of my thingy. You very far. Ah, shit. Yeah, let's go. Okay, so I'm just gonna let you know that this voiceover is probably gonna be a shit show. Like, I'm late. I'm late with everything for this video. But anyway, I started by doing the charts themselves. And the thing is, I show you one ready because I had to redo that introduction because I didn't like the first one. About the charts, I don't know, I feel like so weird saying charts. Also, just look at my posture in here, like, that is amazing. Then I ask myself why my back hurts. But anyway, they did take way longer of a time than they actually needed to take. Mostly because I was indecisive of what I was doing. I was indecisive about the size of the actually squares or the disposition because I was not very sure how to lay things on the page in a way that it makes sense and it also fit in the size of paper that I am using for making this color mixing charts. So yeah, I end up taking way much time to make them, especially the one that is the color mixing chart because I had to redo it a bunch of times because of space. Also, I keep measuring things wrong and tracing them wrong, so I had to redo it a bunch of times. I also had to reinforce the demarcation of the squares and the rectangles so that I could trace it on the other side of the paper. And to trace it to the other side of the paper, I use the window method, I guess we can call it that. Basically, you put your sheet of paper against the window, tape it with any tape that you have, and the light. Of course, do this by daylight, but and the light is gonna hit it, and you can see the lines of the thing that you draw on the other side of the paper. Um, and then you just copy in the side that you want. I guess that's it for the beginning and the making of the charts. So, what I was trying to tell you is that I'm using this Canson paper, which is 300 GMS. It is cold pressed and a fine grain. About the fine grain, I'm not really sure, but it doesn't have a lot of texture. The only thing is, it is not cotton paper. It's probably cellulose. This paper is kind of a beginner paper. It is not that great, to be honest. It is one of the worst. A lot of people don't enjoy it. But I think for very basic stuff or training, it does the job. It could be better. Like normally your paper is the thing that you splurge the most when it comes to watercolor. As for the paints, what I was trying to say to you, this is part of an old Pentel set that I resuscitated with only water. I take the things out of the tubes and put water and try to make them whole again. You can see with the lemon yellow here that kind of cracks, but it is usable. And the other thing is that I didn't know some of the colors names. Now I do know because I kind of cross list them. So I know this is a pink, this is vermilion, this is only red. Some of these colors are like really cool. Like this, I don't know if you can see in camera, but this is a pink and it looks almost neon. It's the same thing with the orange, the same thing with the purple and this green. And the thing is, because like this is only called pink, it doesn't have a code number too for the colors. One of my goals was to make swatches of them, so if I ever need to buy something that it looks like it, so I can replace it with something similar, I can, or I'm able to find something similar in other brand. Another thing is that these pigments are not very good. The colors themselves are very vibrant and very saturated, but the core thing in the pigment, in the binding agent, is not that great. So it behaves kind of funny sometimes, and layers kind of funny sometimes too, but they make some very cool combinations. Also, one more thing is that I have the rest of the colors that come in this set, and I just kind of resuscitated them because they are very dry. So I can make that on camera and I can make a video out of it if anyone wants this. But yeah, this is it. Actually, no, there's one more thing. I'm using only square brushes to do this because most of the things are squares, and I'm trying to be neat because I'm doing this with my left hand, but I don't think being a square brush is gonna help or not. Anyway, let's go. So here's me starting the glazes, which I'm not gonna lie, I struggle, girl. Like this took me a while. Like the brush strokes were very inconsistent, and I keep having trouble into getting back from where I started. What you seeing is the velocity of all of them, like all of the squares, and I keep getting patches like of colors of wetness because I couldn't keep the water consistent and the brush strokes too. Normally with watercolor you want to do a brush stroke, and then when you finish you should have a puddle, and then from that puddle you just keep on filling the space that you want to fill. And I keep having a lot of trouble into doing that. Now you're probably watching me do this speed up. Like, this was at least half an hour of footage, like, and is speed up to the maxes, or else this video would be, I don't know, 2 hours long, 3 hours long. And then I actually start making the glazes. So the way I organize this is that first I came with the warmer colors and I laid them in the horizontal lines, and in the vertical lines I choose to use the cold colors, or in this case colder colors, because for example the green I think is yellow green, so it's more of a warm green, and lemon yellow is could be considered a warm color, but because it's such a cool tone yellow, I am considering it a cool tone. But let me shut the fuck up about yellows for a second and say that I was having the same problems that I have when I was laying the warm colors for the first pass of the glaze. I was not measuring my water very well. I was having problems with it. I was having problems with pigmentation, and everything got a little bit streaky. I don't mean a little bit, it got a lot of streaks. I don't need to say that I went over every single line in every single fucking box. I have no control of it with my left hand. It's a pain in the ass doing the brush strokes. It's so not intuitive at all. And then I started by making the swatches part, which was just in the other side of this sheet of paper. But I'm gonna comment about them later, because right now I'm just gonna let you have a break from me. The result of this both a combination of the orange and the blues, both cobalt blue and Prussian blue, I think it got a really interesting color. The purple column, you produced some kind of interesting shades you can't see on camera right now, but this has a more of
yellow ochre tone, and this is like a purple but still like grayish. And I think if my brush strokes were more consistent and less like sloppy, it would produce way better results. Because I have both sides of the sheet of paper made up with these squares, I decided to use the other part as a swatch page. Now, here's the thing. The camera, I try to mess up with it so you can see the colors better. I am not being able to get like a true life kind of color. So just so you know, these two colors are way brighter than they are in camera. Looking in real life, they look like the Power Rangers color, both the pink and yellow. This also apply for both the orange and the purple, also the green. And here I got the dark ones, which I didn't do the glaze in the other page, which is yellow ochre, chocolate, and black. Then what I decided to do with the rest of them was to use these three colors with some of them, so I could create kind of more muted colors. And I had some very interesting results. I don't know if they are showing on camera that well, but for example, the lemon yellow with the chocolate and the permanent yellow with the chocolate, even though they are yellows, they produce very specific colors. This is more like a green beige, while this is more like a warm beige. Also, I really enjoyed the color that this both Prussian blue and the yellow ochre made. But however, I wasn't able to lie them very neat because I tried to lift the paint many times. Also, another thing is the black on the pink. You can see how the black has a blue shift, but yeah. And I'm really glad that I did this before I did the color mixing, because now I have some ideas of which colors I want to mix and see the results that I have. But yeah, I think this is it, and let's go to the color mixing.
quick wrap up of what happened. So I feel like I kind of forgot that this was supposed to be a left hand training, and instead just become kind of a color mixing experiment, also like making swatches of color. But that's okay, I wanted to do that too. About the charts, if you look up close on them, you can see they are very streaky, they are very patchy in some of them. Like, I knew that this would happen. Again, using my left hand, I was not very precise, even though I was trying a lot. About the colors, they look really interesting, especially in the color mixing part. The glaze are very cool too. Also, you can see how patchy and streaky the glazes are. I really did not pay too much attention in making like a uniform tone. Also, I don't think this paper helped. I probably said that many times, but this paper is not that good. I probably did not went so much in depth in what I did for the mixing chart, but I choose two warm colors, or things that I consider warm, and two cool colors, and mix them with colors that I think are either opposite of them or could be contrasting with them, and colors that are closer. So for example, I have the pink here and the yellow, and the pink here and green, which is its opposite. One of the ones that I really like is this one, where is the Prussian blue and the yellow ochre. It makes some really interesting colors, especially like this jeans blue here. I don't know if it's picking up on the camera very well. I will try to put some shots of it alone, but it really is a very interesting color. And when you have like this colorful of a palette, being able to produce muted colors is kind of essential depending on what you're doing. If you're doing landscapes, if you're doing animals, so, and even like portraits, you're gonna need some muted colors, and being able to produce them with really vibrant colors is kind of key. And about the glazes, I probably already talk about them, so yeah, you can just see how streaky they are. And I'm very glad that I make some swatches, because after this, some of the paints that I have are already running down. The thing about these pigments is that even though they are very vibrant and can go very opaque, you need a lot of it to actually get the color payoff, and that's why they are so cheap, because they don't produce a very good color payoff. But yeah, thank you so much if you got until here. Most people stop watching my videos at 3-minute mark, but what can you do? Subscribe, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and thank you until next one. Bye.